Howdy, kids! My name is Chief Pizza Fire, and I'm going to read to you a story today called Back to School. Before we open it up, what do you think this book's going to be about? Maybe school, huh? Yeah, I think you're right. Well, let's check it out. Going to school means learning about the world around you. So here in this picture, visiting an art museum in Mexico. That's what those kids are doing. And in the next picture over here, those are kids sharing a book with a classmate in Pakistan. And the last picture says that those kids are sketching a standing stone in the United Kingdom. That's far away, by the way. All those places are. There are many kinds of schools. See, these children here, they're taking notes, and they live in Australia. And these children here, they're having class outside in Mali. That's quite different than how we have school here, huh? And look at this one over here. These are kids attending night school in India. And over here, these kids are being homeschooled in France. That might look familiar right now, right? Doing all your schoolwork at home? Yup, like those kids in France. So, do all kids go to school at the same time of day? No, a lot of them, have different times they go to school. And they're not all inside either, are they? All right, let's check out how else schools are different. There are also lots of ways to get to them. Oh my goodness. Look at this. There are kids in a wagon in Bolivia. There are kids climbing onto a school bus in the United States. That looks familiar. And there are kids traveling by boat in Peru. They're squeezing into a rickshaw in the Philippines. Look at that. That's like tons of kids in a bicycle. You might wear a uniform or your favorite outfit. Look at that. These are kids in South Africa and Thailand and walking to school with a friend in France. And these kids are in Belgium. So it looks like some of them look the same when they go to school and some of them dress in their own stuff. When you are at school, you learn to read and write. Forming words on a slate board in Bangladesh is what these kids are doing. This other kid is writing a story in Niger. And over here, this kid is studying the alphabet in Rwanda. Oh, look at that. I remember the days of the chalkboard. Most kids these days have a whiteboard, but that kid is still writing on a chalkboard in Saudi Arabia. Pretty cool. The kids also count and experiment. Check them out, adding some numbers, experiments. And these kids over here, they're counting cubes. Kind of looks like some of the cubes we have in school, huh? School is for discovering science and geography and language. Check out how they're finding out about the world. It's also for developing physical fitness and artistic talent. So these kids are all finding ways of exercising in Iraq. And this kid is drawing a picture in Bhutan. These kids, look at that. They are all practicing violin in South Korea. At school, you get to take field trips and join teams and clubs. As a firefighter, sometimes we have kids that go on field trips to our firehouse, and we show them around the firehouse. Have you ever been to a firehouse before? Well, if you haven't, it's a good, fun field trip that you might get to take one day. Cross your fingers. All right, look at this. There's a kid looking through a microscope. And these kids are climbing on some old cannons that used to be for war and stuff way long time ago. And these kids, they're gathering for a club meeting. And the last one, These are kids that are getting ready for rugby in New Zealand. Rugby is kind of like football in a different country. It's played a little bit different though. When you are a student, you learn from many different people. Look at all those different ways of learning from people. You work hard on your lessons. See, these kids look at how concentrated and focused they are. And you get to enjoy new challenges and make good friends too. Yeah, we all like having our friends around, right? Going to school is a whole lot of fun. All right, so let me ask you this question. Are all schools the same? No, they're different in a lot of ways, huh? Some of the schools you learn outside and some you learn inside. And do they all wear the same thing? No, some kids do at some schools, but some of them don't. And how about how they go to school? Do they all go to school the same way? Nah, they don't. Some of them ride boats, and some of them ride a bus, and some of them ride on a giant bicycle. That's really interesting. But there's also some ways that a school is the same for everybody. Can you think of some ways that it was the same in the book? What do you think? I think you're right. Yeah. So one of the ways they're the same is because the kids all learn stuff, huh? Yes. And kids get to have friends and play, and they get to have some good challenges. That means where stuff is a little bit hard, but it makes us a better person. All right. That's absolutely correct. All right. Now you're going to move on to your assignment in the seesaw. I will see you later, alligator. My name is Chief Pants on Fire, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Later!